Hi friend, I am Digvijay Singh Priyam from the IS IS classes, IS Digvijay IS Academy, and now we are talking about the changes of anti-corruption law and its effects in current scenarios. The object of this law is that the amendments of the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 to combating corruptions in government. The second object The second object to amend the section 31D. Under this sections, public servants are culpable, responsible for something bad that has happened, for securing a pecuniary connected with money or payment advantage for another's, so that without any public interest, for ignoring a fundamental principle of criminal law. That is the main object of this amendments of anti-corruption law. The weakness of the act. We'll be talking about the weakness of the act. The first weakness is that the amendments of section 31D would be negative effects for the honest officials who may be prosecuted even when they gained nothing and merely exercised their power or discretions in favor of someone. That is the main weakness point of this act. The second weakness point of this act. This act had a chilling effect on governance and deterred bold decision making, which is very important weakness point of this act. The third weakness point of this act is that the amended form may have a liberating to allow somebody something to go free. Liberating means to allow somebody with something to go free. Effect on honest officials. That is the another weakness point of that. The fourth weakness point of is that it is more concise. Means giving a lot of information in few words. Brief. Restricts criminal misconduct to two offenses. Two offenses. Misappropriating or converting to one's own use property entrusted to a public servant or is in his control, comma, and amazing unexplained wealth. That is the fourth weakness point of this act, which is very responsible or weakness of the this act. Others weakness that the make by making citizens liable for offering a bribe to a public servant. The anti-corruption law has been brought in line with the UN conventions against corruption. Full stop. The only exception to this rule is when one is forced to pay a bribe. Full stop. This exception kicks in only when the fact that one was forced to pay a bribe is reported to a law enforcement authority within 7 days. That means the 7 days. The penal provision can empower people by allowing them to cite it to refuse to pay a bribe. That is the main weakness of this. The other weakness that at the same time, what happens when the police or any other agency refuses to register a complaint? People may be left in the lurch with no redress. That is the main other weakness point of this act. Others is that further it may render to give in help etc. to somebody. Render means to give in help etc. to somebody. Them vulnerable to threats from unscrupulous Unscrupulous means cutthroat, immoral, unethical, and unscrupulous businessmen manipulated them into selling their land for practically nothing. Means public servant who collect money to speed up public services but do not deliver. That is the main other weakness point of the state. Other point is that the most unacceptable change is the introduction of a prior approval norm to start an investigation. When a prior sanction requirement exists in law for prosecutions, it is incomprehensible, means impossible to understand, that the legislature should create another layer of protection in the initial stage of a probe. That is the weakness point of the this act. Suggestions. The first suggestion is that public servants need to be protected against unfair prosecutions, but a genuine drive against corruption needs a package of legislative measures. The second suggestion is that these should contain penal provisions, create an ombudsman in the form of a Lokpal or Lokayukt, as well as assure citizens of time-bound services and whistleblower protection. That is the suggestions to improve the improve the effect of this changes law, that can be protects the honest officials. Thank you.